Ashley.
Hey, I like to step up on the game there.
$25 on Amazon.
Come on, my man.
There's going to be somebody shooting back from there to here, just so you know.
I can move this.
Yeah, no problem. I just want to let you know because they may be moving you.
Nice. The Woodland Park or Teller County Sheriff stepped up the game on the video. That's what we were talking about right there. Hey, I figured the cops throw it up there. We're gonna throw it up there too. They're so shoot a documentary right now. Couches in his dress flags. He's gonna have a camera pointing at him the whole time. That's what he told me right there. And then I just realized he's in his dress flags. I'm gonna sell some of this footage to him and release the documentary.
Is it better?
Yeah, I had a Dropbox. Okay. So I think it kept failing. I'll just send it to you. Tell it to check.
We're so gonna get a movie out of this. These guys. Oh, did I freeze? Nice. Let's see how Sarge deals with the rotation here.
Yeah, the only reason why
There's the mayor. Mayor of Woodland Park just walked in. Gotta get his. This is bigger than last time. Right behind the mayor is our city manager. That's Darren Tingerman. That's That's Mayor Neil Levy, right there in the white hair. So the mayor's here, the city manager's here. Teller County's in their finest blacks, the dress blacks. Oh, Sergeant Holsworth's trying to get his thing rotated. You got to take it out. You got to take your whole phone out, and you got to rotate it, Sarge.
I got it.
Okay. This is the documentary guy here. He's got to get the faces. ABC is going to cut a little documentary about this thing. I can already see it happening.
I got it. Just so you know.
Did you?
I know you're giving me a hard time, but I got it.
Took you a minute, but you got it. These kids here. And there's blood on the streets.
Good morning, my name is Miles Dion. I'm the Chief of Police for the City of Woodland Park. With me this morning are District Attorney Dan May with the 4th Judicial District. My apologies. I have Teller County Sheriff Jason Mikesell with me, Colorado Bureau of Investigations Director John Camper, and FBI Assistant Special Agent in Charge Mike Nordwell. We're holding this morning's news conference to update you on recent developments in this case. Today we arrested Patrick Frazee on charges of first-degree murder of Kelsey Barrett, and he is currently being held in the Teller County Jail. As a reminder, Patrick Frazee is presumed innocent until proven guilty. Patrick Frazee was taken into custody this morning in Florissant, Colorado, just after 7 o'clock this morning, Mountain Standard Time, by members of the multi-jurisdictional task force, including the Teller County Sheriff's Office and the FBI. Patrick was taken to the Teller County Jail, where he'll be held. His mugshot will be sent to the media following the news conference through the media distribution list. Kelsey's daughter, Kaylee, is in protective custody and will be reunited with Kelsey's family. I cannot stress enough that this is a difficult time for Kelsey's family. They are not providing interviews, period. Please respect the family's request. This has been a methodical and time-consuming multi-state operation, with investigators working nearly around the clock to find Kelsey. While we have not found Kelsey at this time, information has been developed that is helping to narrow down our search. As you can tell from the arrest, sadly, we do not believe Kelsey is still alive. Our work is just beginning. We will be seeing a great deal of law enforcement activity in our community in the coming days and even weeks as we continue our relentless pursuit of justice for Kelsey and her family. As stated previously, this case has involved highly technical work involving cell phone records and other data that has led to today's arrest. We have also conducted multiple searches at Kelsey's home and other locations as part of this comprehensive investigation. I can tell you we understand you demand a full accounting of why this has happened, and nothing is more important to all of us than determining the circumstances surrounding Kelsey's murder and bringing Kelsey and her family justice. Kelsey's murder underscores why we work together as a law enforcement community when tragedies like this occur. We hope something like this never happens, but this is exactly why we work with our law enforcement partners to solve violent crimes within our community. The safety of our community and our citizens is the top priority for all of us standing up here. and nothing is more important than our community's well-being. I'd like to take a moment to extend my thanks to our community for your unwavering support in this difficult time. On behalf of the Woodland Park Police Department and all the investigators and staff involved in this investigation, we would like to express our deepest sympathies to the family and to the friends of Kelsey Barrett. We will continue to work closely with the 4th Judicial District, the Colorado Bureau of Investigation, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, as we continue to work to the conclusion of this investigation. I'd now like to turn things over to District Attorney Dan May for a brief statement.
Patrick Frazee was charged this morning with first-degree murder and solicitation for first-degree murder. That is what he was booked in on. Those who may be familiar with the process, formal charges will be filed in the days ahead. We anticipate the next procedure by the court will be an arraignment. We do not know the date of that yet. We were told earlier today it would be 1:30 this afternoon. As we drove over here, we were told it would be 10:30 this morning. As I was standing in the back, we were told it will be sometime next week. When we know that, we will pass that on to you when the court has decided when the arraignment will be. That is not a time for filing of formal charges. I've told you what he's been booked in on. It is our office's discretion to file formal charges and any charges we see that are appropriate. The system here in Teller County is that we do that in about 10 days. And so at that point, you will see the formal charges. They will be given out to the public and to the press, so you'll be able to see them yourselves. And I anticipate, again, about 10 days, but again, the court will set a second date for the filing of charges, and we have not heard yet from the court when that will be. As the chief said, the case at this point transfers from the police department over to the district attorney's office. We will be the point of contact from this point on, and we will be the lead agency from this point on. So if the press has any contacts they want to make, Lee Richards is my PIO. She's standing at the wall over there. She'll be the one that you should contact here as we go forward. She will keep you informed of all court dates. She'll do that by Facebook and Twitter. And so you'll be able to have those contacts. The family, if you want to contact them, that will be through our office. If you wish to contact them, address that to Lee Richards. I know right now they do not want to be contacted, and they've asked that we set up that formal procedure. I can tell you we are not going to try this case in the press. That's not something we do here, and I don't anticipate doing that, but we will inform you of all new court dates and anything that's in the public record going forward. I do want to acknowledge that we have put together a task force here. This task force is not ending. The collaboration and the work is still going forward. I anticipate that collaboration will be going forward for some weeks yet to come. I know that many in the press have asked to see affidavits. Those affidavits have been sealed by the court. I anticipate that those affidavits will remain sealed until other investigative leads can be followed up on. I anticipate it'll take some weeks to follow up on all the investigative leads that all the agencies need to do in this case. So I anticipate it'll be probably up to 30 days before the court may address whether records may be unsealed at this point. Certainly at that point, the defense may have an opinion of whether they should be unsealed at all. I can tell you my office's position is we are not going to unseal records if it'll put the investigation itself in peril. And that is the status right now, that there are a lot of investigative leads that still need to be done. Once the investigators tell us it will not affect their investigation, we will not have an objection to opening up those affidavits to the public and to the press. But I can't speak for what the defense may do or what the judge ultimately will do in this case. But I know that that's a question that's been in there, and I wanted to cover that. I got to tell you, the efforts by the multi-task force here has been phenomenal. As I said at the previous press conference, when a small community like this gets to something like this, it's important to have those contacts beforehand and have people come in and step forward. The FBI has done a tremendous job. I think they've had 20, 30 agents at least, not only here but across multi-states in terms of the investigation they're doing here. I've gotten to know John Cronin a lot better than I ever thought I would, along with Andrew Cohen, who are both here today. They're doing amazing work up here, and it's amazing the...
Thank you. I'm Mike Nordwall. I'm a special agent in charge, an assistant special agent in charge with our Denver division. Woodland Park Police Department initially contacted our Colorado Springs office shortly after Kelsey disappeared. In the last 3 weeks, we've assisted Woodland Park PD with the investigation and provided a variety of investigative resources to their department. The FBI would like to thank the Woodland Park Police Department, the Colorado Bureau of Investigation, Teller County Sheriff's Office for their collaboration and efforts as we worked alongside with them to further this investigation. Over the past 3 weeks, the FBI has provided our evidence response team, expertise from our behavioral analysis unit, technical analysis, and investigative resources from multiple field divisions across several states. Woodland Park PD has been alongside us the whole way, along with our other state and local partners in pursuing these investigative leads. We've devoted agents solely to assist in this investigation, and we will continue to do so until the conclusion and those that are responsible for this horrific act are brought to justice. Thank you.
All right, at this time, we're going to go ahead and open up questions, and thank you so much for this. I appreciate that. We will start right here.
Chief, can you speak to the evidence that gets you to the murder charge at this point? What was collected from the house?
I'm not going to talk what specifically was collected from the house, but due to multiple interviews, we've come to a point as of last night where we were able to apply for an arrest warrant, and it was signed off by a judge.
Here you.
What would lead to the solicitation of murder charge?
We're still working on that charge. That has reached a point where we are able to charge that point, but I'm not able to comment on that because of multiple things that are going on related to that charge.
Can you explain the state statute behind it?
That would be better explained by our district attorney, but I'm not prepared to speak on that specifically.
And again, we're at a very fluid point of the investigation.
Yes.
We will go right here, Vicki.
So if there's a solicitation for a murder charge, will there be additional arrests?
So your question of is if there is an if there are additional arrests related to a solicitation charge, that's an absolute possibility, but I'm not going to guess on that at this point.
Black Beth?
Where do you think her body is at? What state?
Part of what we're dealing with is how fluid this investigation is. I tried to do a press conference last night, but things have been changing hourly. At this point, I don't want to speculate where the body is at this point.
Is Patrick's mother under?
We already had that right here.
Do you have reason to believe that the crime, the actual murder, may have taken place in Barrett's town home?
Investigators have recovered a number of items that make us suspicious that the crime did occur at Kelsey's residence. And that's why we have been coming back to her residence as we get additional information that leads us to various locations.
Any leads on a possible motive, a possible affair?
No leads at this time on if there's anybody else involved in Kelsey's life.
At this time, is there only one arrest at this point?
Thank you, good question. At this time, there is only one arrest. I don't know if there's going to be additional arrests in our future, but at this time, I can confirm that there has been one arrest.
We're going to do two more questions.
This has been going on for several weeks now. What is the one thing that pushed this from investigating to an arrest?
We finally received enough information to implicate Patrick in his involvement in Kelsey's death, which we were able to present to a judge, and the judge was able to sign off on the first-degree murder charge.
You said multiple interviews.
so
Was
we're
that a person that you were talking to and interviewing?
The last question in the back.
Early on in the investigation, the limited information was that there was a phone that pinged in Idaho. Is that still related to this case, or is there any explanation for that?
Thank you for your question on Kelsey's phone. Yes, her phone did end up in Idaho, and we are still working to recover that phone. And that's about all I can comment. But that phone information was accurate. Her phone did end up in Idaho, and we are working to try to recover that.
Okay, I think we're going to go ahead and conclude today. As was stated, the PIO will transition to Lee Richards with the 4th Judicial District. So I'll be for something.
Can we have the attorney explain the solicitation statute?
It is a crime to solicit somebody to commit another crime. We have a solicitation crime in our code, so it doesn't matter whether it's burglary, robbery, murder, if you're soliciting someone to help out in that crime. and you have to take a substantial step towards really completing that. So it isn't just a discussion. You've actually done something that shows the firmness of your actions. You don't necessarily have to complete it to have a solicitation charge, but you have to show firmness of what you intended to do.
Is it fair to say then?
Generic definition of what solicitation is.
Is it fair to say then that Patrick had somebody working with him?
Again, we'll be filing formal charges. At the time we file formal charges, which I anticipate will be in 10 days, I believe the charge of solicitation does require that we indicate that in there. Right now in the booking, it's just a simple booking and you don't necessarily put many details in there.
All right, we're going to go ahead and wrap that up for now, and we'll provide a page with the
Thank you for coming out.
No question.
Sorry.
No, you're okay. I'm gonna get right next to you.
All right, cool. They asked me to go to Yeah.
No worries.
Yeah, they wanted it like this.
Good job.
So good.
Did it work? Did it work?
Yeah.
All right, there you go.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Good.
Well, talk to me. Tell me how you're involved in this whole mess.
This whole mess, you know, you've met me before.
I think did I meet you at the court?
Yes.
And you were the one that was like when that guy said something about like
so
where's the body, and you like got fired up.
I did, because it was the second time.
Okay.
I was so mad. I'm like, come on, guys.
So talk to me. Tell me how you know Patrick.
He's a cool guy. I mean, for what I know, and this is my opinion, because this is what we deal with. And it's like, if you say anything that goes against what public opinion or the other trolls or whatever say, they crucify you and everything else. I'm like, and this is why people don't say anything up here.
So first of all, when you're talking about the internet trolls, you're talking about a pool of 1 billion people, you know, and so
Yes.
if 1% of those people wake up on the wrong side of the bed, then you might get the wrath of it, you know. So you knew Patrick personally.
Yes.
So I've heard from other people that said, you know, Patrick had said things about Kelsey that maybe aren't necessarily being said. You know, no one wants to paint the victim a bad person, but
They don't, and if you do, you get slammed for it.
yeah,
And it's like, at that point, they don't say anything.
what had you heard? What had Patrick said to you about Kelsey?
Kelsey, because I have never met Kelsey. I got to, watch little Kaylee a lot of the times when they come out and do donkey hooves. He used to be by himself the first, couple of years. These last 2 years, it's like, especially the last year, it's like he brought Kaylee out all the time. No, he just says he's he has custody of her.
So that whole fiance thing that came out from Mom was
BS. But like I say, Kelsey may have told.
Do you think Patrick had something to do with this?
No, but that's my opinion.
Even with some of the evidence and stuff that's come out?
There's no evidence, though.
Well, I mean, the evidence that Kelsey is missing.
She's missing, but she's done that before.
When you say that, what do you mean she's done that before?
She's up and left, just up and disappeared.
When did you find out about that?
I think Kaylee was about a couple months old.
Okay.
Usually I want to say probably in around April-ish.
Your husband and Patrick close?
They're friends, but more professional. I mean, not that they go hang out and whatever.
Okay.
Not that kind of friend. I mean,
Had he ever been to Patrick's mom's place?
No.
Okay. So he had never hung out with Patrick out at the ranch or anything. Did you interview with Dateline?
No, Clinton did.
Oh, Clinton did?
I think he was before you. Yeah.
Gotcha.
They wanted to say him a lot of things. It's like, that's speculation. He will not do anything on speculation. It's like, show me the evidence.
So if it came out in court that,
He did, I'd be very sad, because it's like, I'll have no faith in humanity at that point.
Yeah. Because, I mean, just because you knew him and you've seen him work and you've been around him and his kid, do you think he loved his baby?
Oh, hell yeah. He did the world for that little girl.
Do you think that maybe it was, okay, can you, I know you don't have to speculate with me, but do you think maybe like the baby could have been a motive if he is guilty?
Why? He had custody.
So he had full custody of the baby?
Not.
Or like 50-50?
He had custody as in not on paperwork.
Oh, okay, but he had the baby most of the time, but he didn't have the paperwork for it?
Right.
Gotcha. Did he ever, did you ever think they were gonna have a court battle over the baby?
No.
Okay, so it was pretty cordial between them and the baby?
Yes.
As far as just, they were both parents and both loved the baby?
Mm-hmm.
Talked to any other people and your friends and stuff around the town?
Around the town, my friends, they all know, but it's like, this is the story, what we know, and this is the BS on the story. Like, say, when the mom said this was the first time she ever disappeared, I about lost my mind. I'm like, that's a bunch of bullshit.
Talked to any other people and your friends and stuff around the town?
Around the town, my friends, they all know, but it's like, this is the story, what we know, and this is the BS on the story. Like, say, when the mom said this was the first time she ever disappeared, I about lost my mind. I'm like, that's a bunch of bullshit.
So, you say
I was so mad right off the get-go.
So you knew she had disappeared before?
Yes.
Gotcha. If Patrick is innocent, who would you speculate? Would you speculate on who maybe could be involved?
I can't really, because it's like, I've heard stories like there was another boyfriend. Whether that's true or not, another story. I mean...
Gotcha. But you didn't...
Them getting excited, getting married and whatever, no, that ship sailed long time ago.
So so from the very get-go, they have not been together. They had just been basically swapping the baby back and forth between them. That was kind of their interaction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's taking over the donkeys this year if Patrick's not around?
Not sure yet. I think we have a local guy.
Gotcha. You said that you've talked to some other locals and they know the story, around there. Are you guys?
Totally... Oh, sorry.
Oh no, do you think there'll be some locals that will come out and testify for Patrick?
I don't know on that one because none of us have been talked to or anything.
Okay.
It's like I say, when they said Clinton was going to be arrested and whatever, I'm like, what? Someone texted me that. I'm like, where is this coming from? That's what started this all. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Did you contact law enforcement?
Yeah.
And what did law enforcement tell you?
They gave us a whole lot of things you can do and stuff. The one we're in the process of taking care of. Hopefully she takes care of his shit, or she won't. If she not, sucks to be her.
That there are some people that are looking into a lot of social media accounts and
the cops are on all of them.
Oh yeah, and I think you've heard me talk about that before.
Yeah. But no, they've said they've been on. They're seeing what is out there and see if it gets out of hand or not out of hand.
Well, yeah. The fact is, the cops don't govern social media right now. You guys actually been threatened or anything?
They've said a lot of things on there, and there's one lady, the name I gave you, that's why I want the info on that, because she's getting like, hey, you're putting stuff out there that...
This whole thing on Facebook is a whole new thing for everybody. Nobody knows exactly what's happening and how it's all going to fold out.
I've been floored on some of the stuff. Like I say, when somebody texted me, screenshot off of that Jennifer Lawrence prayers for Kelsey or whatever.
Yeah.
Saying that, Clinton was arrested, he's going to be arrested. I'm what? So I got accepted. I'm like, and then I start reading all the other stuff. I'm like, oh my God, you've got to be kidding. Some of it, they have quite the imagination. I'm like, holy crap. Was talking to my husband saying, well, you should know all about this. You know Crystal. And I'm like, my husband's looking at you like, who the hell is that?
Think there was anything weird about the way he reacted when this all went down?
No, he shuts up. I mean, he's a very private person. Very, very private. Puts me to shame, even.
Yeah, he's a man of very few words.
Very few. And it's like, if you're going to accuse him, you better have him dead to rights.
Even when you were around him, he's a pretty quiet person?
He is, yeah.
Who's more talkative, your husband or him?
Oh, my husband.
Yeah?
By far, yes.
He carried the conversations and stuff?
Oh, yeah. My husband is very, very... That's why he does the interviews. I don't, usually.
Gotcha. Well, you're talking with me.
Because the lady on the Facebook, the Prayers for Kelsey, I was like, okay, you went too far. Now I'm done.
Oh, I gotcha. So this is some of the stuff these other people had said.
They do. And then they ran, you know how they are, they ran with that. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah. Has this affected your life around Cripple Creek or the locals? I mean, the locals
know us. They laugh.
Yeah. They laugh. They laugh it off. They know what's up.
Yeah, they know what's up. But it's like, hey, this, like I said, when they said arrest, we even had a reporter call to see if Clinton got arrested because they're trolling, those sites too.
Oh yeah, the reporters are definitely watching, and it's funny because everybody tries to give credit to these reporters for knowing so much info, and I'm like, half the shit they talk about is on social media.
And other stuff they make up because it's like, that's not true. But yeah, she asked if my husband got arrested. It was like, no, he did not.
Gotcha. Well,
and we laughed because he went down to the cops is what we could do and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like I say, it's like, if I wish the trolls would get a clue. It's like, you guys got all IP addresses, and it's easy to track your happy asses down.
The digital world is it's more accurate than a fingerprint, right? You could the digital trail, and the hardest thing about the digital trail though is unless you're involving with people that understand how to do it, it's like you have to go through Facebook or you have to go the law enforcement.
The Jennifer, she uses the same IP.
Oh yeah, no, she has no idea what a
She's got a lot of names. The only reason I know hers is like she texted me saying she was a friend of a friend. Okay. So you've actually received text messages or messages on Facebook? Not to my phone, but through Facebook.
Okay, like messages through Facebook, yeah. Do you believe that they're going to use anything from social media against Patrick?
Well, I don't know because he don't have a whole lot of social media.
Was he not on social media?
He had a site, but not much on it. I mean, you're a farmer or you're a rancher. When do you have time to do all that?
Yeah.
That's what kills me most. I'm like, do you guys ever live on a farm? Like, come on, guys. Between taking care of animals, and there's a lot, making sure everything's done and everything, and a 1-year-old, when do you have time to do all this stuff? Like, come on.
Yeah, but you really believe he's innocent.
I really do.
And
show me otherwise. That's my biggest thing. Show me otherwise.
Yeah.
Where's the evidence? I don't see Jack. And what you did have, now you say it's not that important. So now it really tells me you don't got Jack.
You're talking about the evidence they wanted to test?
Yeah.
How it
and now it's not important. And I'm like, you don't have crap. I said I could be wrong. Could totally be wrong, but
well,
like I say,
you are one of you're one of the very few, even in my own mind, and I don't know Patrick or Kelsey, but I live on Kelsey's block, and I've been at the court hearings and the press conferences, and I sat across from Patrick, and I've said either that's an innocent dad or there is a monster in him, and those are the
you never know.
And those are the real facts, It's he could be as innocent as you say that you believe he is,
Mm-hmm. Or like I said, my husband is like, show me the evidence. He doesn't either way. It's like, show me the evidence. Because he still believes you're innocent until you're proven guilty, not the other way around.
It goes. Do you think Patrick will go all the way to trial? So if you believe he's innocent, you think he's not going to take any plea deals?
No, he won't. He's very patient.
And he has to be a horse farrier, correct?
Mm-hmm. Very correct.
I've said that from the beginning. I said that I don't know what kind of person exactly Patrick is, but I know that if he's trained dogs or trained horses, he is a very patient man.
Because you have to be.
Do you think that patience is gonna, obviously he didn't really do any of the classic, big moves that people do. Like, he didn't talk to press, he didn't talk to law enforcement, and they gave him every ability to. Like, they gave him, a few days of freedom. I think they knew pretty quickly they were gonna either detain or arrest him, but because they're trying to close this case. But you don't have any speculation. Do you think this is a random case, or do you think there is more to it than what we're listening and hearing?
Probably more to it.
But you are 100% that your husband had nothing to do with it.
Yep, 100% on that one.
And nobody's ever come, even the cops haven't even come. Did they ever come question you?
Nope.
Like, not even about Patrick?
Not even. They all laugh.
Like, so the cops never even came and questioned your husband even about Patrick, though?
Nope.
So that was 100% just a straight up internet rumor started by some trolls.
It was 100%.
Well, yeah, it's sad for me to hear that like it's not sad that your husband wasn't involved. It's sad that it was that started these and
yeah, it was crazy.
Well, thank you for clearing some things up with me.
No problem.
Do you mind if I take a little bit of this conversation and talk about it?
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, this is Michael from the Underground.
Yeah, hey, how's it going?
How's it going?
Pretty good.
So, I don't want to keep you too long, but yeah, you can kind of just tell me who you are and how you're kind of maybe involved, or not involved, but how you kind of know Kelsey, and tell me, what that's kind of been like.
Yeah, sure. So my name's I live in Washington, the area where Kelsey kind of grew up. I've known her since the 4th grade, since we're about 9 years old. So I've known her for quite a long time. She was just an amazing person. I just want to make sure that everybody knows that. She was just one of those people that you were like drawn to, that you wanted to be friends with. Just very caring, very kind, very compassionate, non-confrontational, just a really sweet person, a good friend, a great mom, just all around a wonderful person.
Did you ever know Patrick at all?
No, I never did meet him. Actually, she moved away, and so we used to get together when she did live in the area for coffee quite often. Her favorite place was Starbucks, and after she had moved away, we didn't see each other for a little bit, and we would message still here and there. But I had just received a message from her one day, and she told me that she was engaged and expecting a baby, and so of course I was shocked, but I was super happy for her. But I never did meet him, or I don't even think that she had told me his name at the time, but everything sounded like it was going good, so I was happy for her.
Yeah. What's been the feeling around there, and you guys being close to her whole life? And then, just kind of seeing this thing unfold, and it's unfolding, in a different time zone, and so the idea that it's so far away, yet it was only just a few years ago she moved down here.
Right. Yeah. Honestly, this whole situation is just, it just feels so unreal. A lot of the time, I knew as soon as I had seen that she was missing, I just knew that she wouldn't have just up and left her daughter. She loved her daughter so much. She would tell me, the first time that she held her in her arms, that what an amazing feeling it was being a mom and how much she loved her. I know that, she would go and visit family once in a while, but just to up and leave, it's not in her character to do that. She's a very, she was a very grounded, very level-headed, very responsible person. And so I just had a bad feeling from the time that I read the post that she was missing. And so just, going from that and finding out, that, we were kind of holding on to a little bit of hope that, maybe she would come back, but just, hearing that most likely she's not going to be coming back, that was really difficult to hear that. So, it's been really difficult. And
you reached out to me after yesterday. Or a couple of days, I guess it was yesterday, I posted a interview. It's just a whirlwind here, and if you've been watching a little bit, I guess, of the channel there on at social media, and that's kind of where you reached out to me, and this lady who I've only met one time, here. But she reached out to me too on social media and said that she knew Patrick and stuff. And you heard her words, and I don't want to really talk about that. But there was one thing in particular this lady said about Kelsey had gone missing before. Had you ever heard that before or heard that story?
No, never. Like I said, it just is not in Kelsey's character at all to just take off. I've known her a really long time, and that's just not Kelsey. She wouldn't just take off like that. And so I was really, really shocked to hear that. And also to
was there anything else in that interview
and just to hear about Kelsey's mom, and that kind of was it was hard to hear, just because I've known Cheryl and Kelsey's entire family for a very long time, and she's just a very, very kind, very sincere, honest person, and I just that was definitely difficult to hear.
How long ago was probably the last that you heard from Kelsey, and even maybe a Facebook message or something? When was maybe the last time you guys spoke?
So it had been a little while since we last spoke. Unfortunately, life gets busy, and hindsight's always 20/20. You wish you would have reached out more often, and but I hadn't spoken with her for about a year.
Okay.
Since she had gone missing.
Is it weird to hear that maybe things didn't work out between her and Patrick, but that mom didn't know about that, or maybe mom just was confused about that, or is that something that you guys still are saying that that was something that she was adamant that she was, the fiance? I know that you haven't spoken to Kelsey, but maybe you had talked to her mom or anything like that.
Right. No, Kelsey and her mom they were very, very close.
Okay.
Like best friends.
Gotcha.
They had a really close relationship, and so it would be surprising if, she would have kept something like that from her mom. I just don't see that.
Yeah.
They were extremely close.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, I know this has got to be a hard time for you and a hard time for the family up there, and so I want to know more about Kelsey, just because she was my neighbor and I didn't know her, but I mean there's no doubt in my mind that she walked past my house, or I may have passed her at the park or something. And so is there anything that you want to say, because people will hear this or people will talk about it and stuff, and I want people to understand that, because I do believe Kelsey was all these things that you have said, and the interview yesterday was because I felt like I needed to look that alley and whatever, look down that road. And so I know there's two families here and there's two things like that, but if there's anything that you want to tell people about Kelsey, I'd love to hear that.
Yeah, pretty much everything that I've said. She was a wonderful person, a very, very good friend. Like I said, was non-confrontational. She just had that aura about her that just drew you in. You wanted to be friends with her. She was, more on the quiet side, but definitely a very, very genuine person. She was good to the core of her center being, and it's really really a sad deal that that she's gone now. So yeah, it's hard.
No, I understand. So what can you tell me? I'm prying into some personal, but I would love to hear. Do you have a story maybe of before even she moved down here, of something that what reminds you of Kelsey? When you think about her, what brings? I know now, but beforehand, maybe what would have brought a thought to your head about Kelsey?
Really, every time that I would see a plane, she was a pilot, of course. A story for me that I think about all the time is the time that she had taken me up in a float plane. She was doing her course here at our local community college, and
oh, that's awesome.
She had to do a test where she had to touch down on the lake here and take off, and of course I was terrified just because I am a chicken, but I felt safe. She just had that about her that just made you feel that way, that you could fully trust her and just safe with her. And of course she did perfect touchdown and take off, and we survived. But that's
got to be it.
It was amazing. It was I'm so thankful that I was able to experience that, and that's something that I definitely hold close to my heart.
That's the God, I'm breaking up now. You're making me cry, and I'm not even there. That's the thing I picture. That's the Kelsey, that the story that needs to be told of Kelsey is who she was, and like that pilot instinct, like you say, that thing on top of everything, very meticulous and very in control.
Oh yeah, definitely. She was a very good pilot. She kind of had that adventurous spirit about her, almost like fearless. And it was pretty amazing. It was a really great experience. So I'm thankful for that.
That's awesome. Well, I don't want to keep you. It's been a long day here, but I'm sure you've got a long day ahead. I heard some little ones in the background. So
yeah.
Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I know I am crazy and wild, and I am just a dad with a phone, but I truly do care about this situation very, very, very much. And
I appreciate your time as well, just allowing me to let everybody know what kind of a person Kelsey was, and her family, and I know that it can be difficult with all the speculation and everything going on, and it's so important, just to just let the investigators work, and the truth will eventually come out. But I feel too that what's really important too in helping is just making sure that we keep Kelsey's family in our prayers as well. I just can't even imagine
Absolutely.
what they're going through. So I think that's also really important.
Absolutely.
And I appreciate it, and I know the family does too, for everybody that has been praying for them. So thank you for that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, we will continue to pray for you and the family and everyone up there that knew Kelsey. And thank you so much for your time today.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're
Thank you. I
awesome.
appreciate it.
You're awesome. You really are. You're an awesome person, and I'm glad that I know that with this, the investigation, but this is different. This is a different case. This is a different thing, and something is different happening. And so I'm glad you have spoke out. And so thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you for your time.
Okay, we'll talk to you later. Bye bye.
Okay. Bye bye.
So Patrick's going to be coming up here in a second. Y'all got the only sneak in the courtroom, guys. I can't do any more than that. They're out here watching like hawks. So I don't want to get shut down before this thing even starts. So it's this is kind of the press out here all right now. They're going to be hawking as soon as he walks up. Looks like there's the Courier. It's Channel 11's here. KRDO. Channel 11's or KRDO or KKTV are the only ones that can have video inside the courtroom. No, they didn't kick me out. I just put my coat down so I could sit in the same seat. You saw that, didn't you? Mom was here. Mom's already here. Yep, that was PF's mom right inside, and she's inside the court right now. Patrick is going to be walking up here shortly, no doubt. Everybody will start screaming and going crazy. You guys see all the news, guys. That's a on-air news guy. Couple on-air news people here in the lobby. So I figured y'all saw her. I tried to keep it. I had to stay kind of schnick-digs. Twitter is Michael E. Dalton, so Michael E. Dalton. I think I just heard him say we can't tweet inside the courtroom. That's a new rule, if that's the case. Got my light on here just a second. How's it going? Good. Yeah, Mom. We're at the house. What's your name? You can say hi to my live channel. This is the Courier in here today. We know each other. Yeah. Behave so we can get into scoop. I know. If you're just joining, we're at District 11 Court in Teller County, and you need to stand for that camera. No, I don't. You do not bring stands or tripods when they tell you there's no video allowed. Yeah, you saw that guy? Yeah, you don't bring tripods for your cameras when there's no video allowed. I'm sorry. I did not get booted out of the courtroom. I just went in there and put my coat down. That's who you're talking about, right? I think that's who. Yeah, ABC News. That's who that is. There's old Sam right there. Fanboy Sam. That's what we call him. You should feel like you're here. We're at District 11 Court in Teller County. Patrick is going to be before the judge again for 2 motions. This is only a motion hearing, so they're gonna talk about the motion to release the police warrant and affidavit, and they're going to talk about the motion about consumptive testing, and so. Actually, I think it might be a different judge today. Maybe not. I know the judge is going to be switching, but I think it could be a different judge today. He should walk right in front of me because that's the only way in the courtroom. Am I going inside? I will go inside, but I will not video inside. They will crush me. They will crush me. Yeah, I do believe the previous judge will be out today. I'm in the courthouse right now. Where do you think I'm at? I'm going to go in the courtroom here in just a second. That's the District 11 courtroom. Was his mom just in your last live? I'm not going to say yes or no, but yeah, probably. Well, there's fanboy Sam right there. Sam's been on top of the game here. He's been way on top of the game. I'm not trying to get put in contempt of court there, guys. You guys are crazy. I'll tweet though. I will tweet something out, but I can't tweet no live videos. Sam rocks. Yeah, he does do a good job. That's why we call him Fanboy, because he knows who we are. There's the attorneys. That's his attorneys. the attorneys. Sam, they're telling me you rock. When I put you on my live video, they're like, Sam rocks. I'm like, he does.
Maybe outside. Yeah.
This is why we're not going in there with you guys. Y'all see what that is? That's contempt of court if you go in there. So, tweeting only. You see that? Tweeting only. So if you haven't been here to this court, yeah, there's people inside right now. Patrick's mom's inside. A couple other people. So that's who's here right now. My Twitter account is Michael E. Dalton. So Michael E. Dalton. So just at Michael E. Dalton on Twitter, at Michael E. Dalton on Instagram. Tweets are better than nothing. Yes, they are. I can't type that fast, guys. I don't plan on typing that fast, actually. So he's going to be dropped off probably right out there. He's going to come right under. And then he'll probably come up the elevator. They normally bring him up the elevator. So. We just met a underground follower. Sandra just showed up. He should be showing up here shortly. Patrick.
I'm going to stay for a little while.
You can go in the court and get a seat. We're sitting over on the third row on that far side.
Where do I go?
Just straight through those doors.
It's okay to go in now?
Yeah, they're just all waiting out here to get pictures of Patrick when he comes up.
Oh, that's what I want to do too.
Well, then get your phone out.
Okay.
So he'll hopefully come up there. They're gonna walk him right through here. He'll walk through here, and then there's a holding area. Actually, he'll probably walk right into the courtroom. There's a holding area behind there, and then that is in the courtroom there. So. And as soon as he comes through, we'll go into court. We've already got a seat saved, so y'all just saw that. Do you like that? That was a quick one. I thought I was gonna get busted by the DA right there. Yes, you did, Tara. What are you telling me to stop for? Rebecca, if you're showing up late, I'm sorry. Yeah, this old courthouse is awesome. All right, looks like he just got here. He's coming up right now. News reporter just got the tweet that he's coming up. I don't think court's going to take long at all. I think court will be 20, 30 minutes at most. Of course it's better than the news. This is the underground. This is no editing. I'm not changing nothing. So, yeah, don't be... Spitwads. You guys. These are all your news broadcasters. You got Sam. You got them all. It's not going to take 3 hours. They're going to argue over that paperwork, but the judge has already been pretty clear that they can't hold that affidavit much longer because of the Sixth Amendment. So I don't think they're going to let that motion pass. Here he comes, maybe. Everybody's ready to get the footage. Why don't I get closer? Because I want a video of all these guys. See, I can then tag every one of these news people in my live video. Patrick's gonna walk right between us. Oh, I hope it's not cutting out. I will. I'm actually recording on 2 cameras right now. I got another cell phone that I'm working right now on another one. I'm sorry if it's blurry. I know, right, Deb? I got 500 watching. That's pretty good. Y'all should make it a couple cold thousand. Do a little share. That was my fault, folks. Oh, here we go. That's Patrick's attorney right there. He might already be in holding. They fixed the computers. They were going to cancel it because of a computer update, but I think they... So there's the attorney right there. Patrick's attorney. He just didn't know where he was going. Yeah, share that. His attorney was just all the bulbs in the ceiling. All the bulbs in the ceiling are working. Yeah, that's funny. Had some underground followers show up. Are you talking about me, Carla? The dimwit? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I'm actually strategically putting myself here because I'll also end up in every camera shot that these guys are shooting. You know that to be true, right, guys? I should have just stayed sitting down. I don't think there's a live feed from inside the court. I do believe there's a media pool going on to where they're going to turn all that footage over. So the prosecuting attorney and the defense attorney just walked into a separate room together. I've been accused of worse. Some sheriff's officers coming up. That's an on-air news reporter. A media pool is when they only let one media outlet in, and then that media outlet has to share that footage with all these other media outlets. Who they don't share that footage with is the underground, so we have to go snag it somewhere else. Here comes Patrick.
Patrick, what do you make of the request to withhold? Okay, Patrick, tell me about the first one.
Court's over, guys. Yeah, it was. They'd already handled most of it. They postponed the next court date, and but they'd already given him the arrest warrant. They'd already given him. The 29th is canceled to February now. He said we were in recess, and then he...
Sir, you can't go out that way. Thank you.
I think they skipped us and went out that other side. If he showed up in this car, this one's he's going back in. Here we go to the bathroom.
Well, they brought him down. He appeared. It's two sheriffs. And then the sheriff will go back in the elevator and go back upstairs.
Might have gone up. No, the arrest affidavit is released to Patrick and the defense attorney, but it hasn't been released to the public. Might be back in. They called recess, so he might have had to go to the restroom before the ride. And if they had to go to the restroom before the ride, they would have took him back upstairs.
It's all coming out of your pocket.
It's a beautiful day in Cripple Creek. It's actually a good day to be down here. They may have decoyed the press today.
Where they did the press run?
Looks like there's going to be a press conference afterwards here tonight, so we'll stick around for that.
Did you hear about that? The presser?
I just heard that.
Okay, Ken said they're going to do it by his camera out there on the corner. They don't know. Okay. Where are your sticks, Ken? Where are your sticks? Okay. Just on the corner of the building. Okay.
So they released the court docket or the arrest affidavit to Patrick and his attorney. They have not released it to the public. Supposedly there's going to be a presser. I wonder if he went out that way. How's it going?
Hey, sorry, I accidentally. As far as trying to stream compressor, I do have a grid with me, so we could try to do it that way. Or
Here comes Patrick. So they're doing the presser right over here. We'll go up here and hang out. Get that live shot for you. This is where we've been. We'll be back in just a little bit, guys. We're gonna come back for this presser. So they're about to do a press conference right out here in front of the courthouse. We'll hang right here and get the best shot we can. Got all the news, all the media's here. DA's right here. She's about to come up and give us a statement.
Sorry, I'm trying to stay closer to Nan. I might stand behind you.
I need you. It makes you look better on camera, though. Seriously. Okay. Hang on, guys. Sorry.
You got your sunshades?
And before you speak, if you could just say your names and spell them, that'd be awesome.
Oh, God.
I am so close.
Okay.
I hate being the last one here, but as soon as catch the line, I can't help myself. You're sound checking my mic, Tony. That's good.
You're blocking my shot.
How you doing?
How about if I do this?
That'll
Is
work.
everybody ready? We'll move up.
I had a good view. Now I can just stare at the back of your head.
You're welcome.
Doesn't even look that good. Trying to be a
Good save.
I'm trying. Hang on. And yeah, if you guys get ready. Oh, sure. Whatever works. Oh, here.
Hey, Scott.
Oh, you're
Good?
Thanks, boss.
Can you talk to
that way?
Sorry, can I go on
No
mute?
problem. Can you hear me?
I have 2 more seconds, guys. I know
Waiting on ABC.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You got it? Are you okay?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
You get my boom mic to rite of passage.
It's like a love tap. It's just like...
Thank you for that.
He has a lawyer.
Bye.
Careful.
That's fine. I just am not. That'll work, Tone.
Thanks for doing that. Yeah, appreciate it.
All right. Everybody good? Let's do this.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
I'm Jennifer Beeman. It's spelled B as in Victor, I-E-H-M-A-N.
Beth Reed, Deputy District Attorney, R-E-E-D is my last name.
So I'm going to explain what happened in court today. I know all of you were there, but the acoustics can be very poor in the courtroom. So just to kind of explain a little bit about what happened, we had two motions that we litigated today, obviously very quickly. The first motion was in regards to releasing the affidavit to Patrick Frazee himself. So currently the affidavits, any of the search warrants are sealed in the court file. But as we discussed at the last court date, we released the affidavit to defense counsel for Mr. Frazee. And today we agreed that Mr. Frazee himself could also review that affidavit with his attorney, and his attorney's staff can all work together on that PC affidavit. It will remain sealed until further court order. So that was the first issue that we dealt with here today. The second issue was in regards to the consumptive testing. As we discussed at the last court hearing, whether or not we could proceed forward with testing because the lab had indicated to us that it would be consumptive. That is that there wouldn't be another sample for a defense expert to be able to look at or review. So we've been in communication and contact with the lab. They've indicated and given us a memo to pass along to defense counsel about how their procedures would work and what they need to do. So we have provided that to defense, and we will work out how that consumptive testing will proceed forward in the future. I would imagine that any of that testing we will discuss with the defense counsel in this case, and we will work out the logistics of how we're going to be able to proceed forward with that testing from here on.
Does Patrick Frazee have the rest of the evidence beyond the arrest affidavit? And if not, when will he get it?
So part of the process is what we call discovery. And throughout that process, all of the police reports, everything will be provided to his defense team. That's an ongoing process, and that has already begun. And as that process continues, he will have access to all of the discovery. That's going to be any videos, police reports, pictures, anything of that nature will be provided to the defense counsel, and then through defense counsel, Mr. Frazee will be able to view those items as well.
Is the woman...
One of the reasons you wanted to hold on to the affidavit is that you said the investigation was still underway. There were all these leads that needed to be followed.
Yes.
What is the status of the investigation, and if it is still so active, was his arrest premature?
Well, it is an ongoing active investigation. What that really means is that there's many leads that law enforcement will be following up on, many witnesses they will be talking to, and different avenues that they need to pursue. So in terms of releasing the affidavit, the reason why it's remaining sealed is so that law enforcement can contact those witnesses before all of that information is made public. So it will be uncontaminated, if you will, from information that those witnesses would glean from court documents.
So you're confident he was not arrested too soon?
I am confident.
Have you received any evidence from Idaho investigators?
So I can't really speak to any of the investigation at this point. That information is still sealed. So I can't discuss at this time what information or what investigation has been completed through law enforcement.
Is there a woman in Idaho that's cooperating with the investigation?
Urgency to test that piece of evidence. What changed?
It was a communication with law enforcement and with the lab.
And tell us about that, because I think people heard, oh, there's this piece of evidence that needs to be tested. This must be real important. And now you're saying you might just have to wait and test it later?
This is an ongoing process as we look at multiple items that will be tested. So as we go through items and in communication with law enforcement in the lab, many times the urgent nature of things may change because we may realize that piece of evidence or that item, either it doesn't have the significance that we once thought it did, or maybe the lab is telling us that it's not going to be an issue. They're going to be able to complete things in a timely manner, regardless of when the consumptive motion is litigated. So many things can go into determining whether or not we need to rush or not. So that's the communications that we have with law enforcement in the lab, was to, in the communications we had with them, we just determined that it didn't need to be completed by January 20th.
Is there a woman in Idaho that's cooperating with the investigation?
So I can't really speak to any of the information that's contained in any of the probable cause affidavits because those remain sealed at this time. Any investigation that's ongoing through law enforcement, I can't comment.
Do you expect other people to be charged?
I can't really comment on that either because this, as I said, is an ongoing criminal investigation and many leads are being pursued by law enforcement.
Is there still an active search for...
This already, but can you explain why the preliminary hearing was postponed and what went on with Mr. Frazee's decision and waived the 35 days?
So Colorado law requires that a preliminary hearing is held within 35 days unless the defense waives that 35-day requirement. Many times in complex cases, any homicide case, honestly, they will ask to waive that 35 days to give them more time to prepare. That's what happened today. The attorneys, they received the probable cause affidavit after the hearing on Monday, realized the complex nature of the case and requested more time to be able to complete the hearing.
Is there still an active search ongoing for Kelsey Barrett's body?
There is still an active ongoing criminal investigation. So many different leads are being pursued by law enforcement in terms of witnesses and evidence, and that will be ongoing for a long time.
But specifically for a body, though, is there a search going on?
I believe that law enforcement is following up on any leads that they can at this time in that regard.
Jennifer, can you explain why you're now comfortable with Frazee actually seeing the affidavit himself?
Because in communication with law enforcement, we determined that the leads that they had already pursued between Monday and today, as well as the past couple of weeks, they were confident that it wasn't going to be any issues for Patrick Frazee himself to see the affidavit and be able to communicate with his attorney about that.
Was there concern about, maybe he contacting somebody else?
The concerns in terms of why we asked that Mr. Frazee not be able to see the affidavit in the first place from Monday until today was that we wanted many leads to be followed up on from law enforcement, and once those leads were followed up on, we no longer had the concerns about Mr. Frazee seeing it. No.
If there are 3 charges for solicitation to commit murder, why has another person not been charged yet?
So it's an ongoing criminal investigation, so there's many leads that have to be followed up on in terms of evidence collected and witnesses that need to be interviewed. All right. Thank you.
Well, there you go. You heard it first right here on the Underground. Nobody else got it out that quick to you, I promise you. And so that is the state, the prosecuting attorney. You've heard her explanations of what has happened via today's court. I don't know if you guys caught that or not, but it turns out they moved the next court date, which means if somebody wants me to miss that court date, I gotta find someone else to give me $1,000. So I was gonna miss the 29th court date, but they postponed that court date now till February 19th, which means the Underground can be on location for the court. Now, don't you guys start spreading all the rumors about what you saw today, because I don't need to be held in contempt. That's all I'm saying. So you got what you got. You got some behind the scenes today. You got some oh, don't tell me I locked myself out. That would suck. I didn't. Got a little behind the scenes. You guys got some behind the courtroom. You got some you got as close as you're gonna get to Patrick. Like I was as close as they come when it comes to getting close-ups of Patrick. So I think, Jay, if you're watching this, I don't know who's all been commenting. I haven't seen the comments because I've been trying to hold my cameras as steady as possible. Jay, if you're in here, you can pull any and all the footage you saw from this live video. If you see anything you want to use for a teaser for this evening show, then you just grab it. If you need me to send you something, I can send you something. Tweet me or text me. Jennifer's not a fraud. Everything she has to spend is true. I'm not talking about, Jennifer Lawrence is a fraud for sure. Jay is for justice is not a fraud. No, Jennifer Lawrence has not tried to help Kelsey's family. She is definitely a troll and a fraud. Y'all want to roll out of here and go head back towards Woodland with me, or should I just end this video now? That was kind of fun, actually. We got some good footage. I don't know how many viewers we had at the peak of our time there, but I'll show y'all a little drive out. So there's the courthouse. We are leaving and headed back to Woodland Park, and that's all she wrote, folks. That was a good little, like I said, that court didn't last long at all now, did it? You guys can check my, this is Cripple Creek, Colorado. Just cruise through here nice and slow. Casinos on either side. End it so I can watch it from the beginning. You know, that's probably a good idea. You guys are awesome. I'm going to end this live. I'm going to come right back with another one, but people didn't see Patrick, so they want to see Patrick and watch all that and be done.
Yeah.
I mean, never in history has a dad been able to drive down the road and talk to people and interact with people all over the world.
You're just a dad with a phone.
I'm just a dad with, really, that's really it.